As I said before, if someone wants to do this and they're better at it than I am, please, please, please help me. But since no one is doing this, and I will understand why, because this is time consuming, and this language is like wrestling. Well, it's worse than wrestling with an alligator. It's like you're Hercules and you're battling against that. I forgot what they call it, but as soon as Hercules lopped one head off, another head popped up. That's how this language is. I mean, it's unending. I mean, you're just battling it. I mean, this language is tough. Okay, but this is going to be in Tagalog. In ang date ing Biblia. In the verse of the day, Exodus 20:14. Huwag kayang magagaluya. Let's see if we can get any translation out of this, which I doubt. See, they won't let you have it. Okay, so let me try again. I can't grab it. Well, that's gonna be the way it's gonna be. Okay, so we're gonna come here, and I think we're in like Genesis about 10, and let's fly away. And this is Tagalog, so it's going to be easier for me. And my isa ang ulog in lamabas asa Eden, and nadu maling in sa ananem in simula ru'u I bahaing in si magapat I sangka in Pagaalan. Now I know that's the name. See Pagaalan mo. What is your name? And ang un I Pisayan. So there was a river that was named Pisayan. See? And Nasaing. And Saing, Niying, Piying, that is the nominative case. And so I know that that's he, she, it, that. And see Lumagiling and Baong Lapan and Avila and Dulan in Gento. In ang Gento in Salupang in Ira Mabute. So I know that what happened was good. And Ma'arong and Naming and Dulang and Bilaning and Bolang and Oxian. That's not Tagalog, so, and it's that place, I think, where the gold was. And ang palaalang, it was named, and ang ke ilaang ilaang digiaban. And see, Elog, that's like another river for, that's another name for river. Elog, see, tag, Elog, river of Gayan. And seeing Saye, once again, the nominative case, focus not on the pronoun but away from it. Uma iling and galing and sa baong laping and crush. So lapping is now going to be changed, and lapping is terror, is terra in Spanish back in the first chapter, but now it's the land of crush. See how you get this? That in pag-aaling in itaalog in ilog in sa hidi ikaw. And so something happened in the river, and that's something that's in the Semitic language, but it got messed up obviously in Tagalog. So it's probably G D D Kel, but I'd have to look at it in another language to be sure, and I can't grab and translate any of this, and that's good because it gets you honest. And nasilang ang magos and sa tapat in Assyria. See? And see ina and kapat in e long. See, now you know it's river, but Tagalog e log a aya ang Euphrates. Sa Kuaha on Banga Along Dios. And he named, what is God going to name? The God named Ang Lalaki I Isa Laeng in Himaana Ang na Eden. In Ba'a and Ke'alan in Alahat in Insulang ang Pagaalan Pangi Unang Dios. Sorry, that's not Pagaalan. That's some type of the very very great God. So sorry above and Dios in Salalaki. Lalaki is a man. A Dodong is like a young man, okay? And Nasi Nabi, see, and he said, see Nabi. So, Eko si Nabi Tagalog. See now, so you got one phrase. You can say Eko si Nabi Tagalog. See, so far it's been worth it. Okay. And Salahat in Puna on Kylo and Kila Aman in na ka kian in na ka ang kalaan in dapo ulang in keloy in maki elang in mabute. Again, it was good in masa ama in saana on ka ki na. Now, kakina is to be eating, so this may be the sweat of the face and where it's eating, but that's the future of eating. See how you got ka in? That means that is progressive in the future, progressive and in the future. Okay, and ka pa kat sa a ra na I ka a kumian, being eating, na and in the days of the eating, na yang on wa la without pa sala in ma taya. So you are somehow in the eating, in ka, somehow you are in the eating and you will somehow die. That's what they're saying. Okay. Ang si nabe en puso on Dios. Hindi. Hindi is no. Wala is without. So you'll hear people say Hindi wala. It is with it. No, it is without. See, Hindi is it can be a negation to lead to without, and wala also can lead to without. Just like no and without can lead to the same meaning. Okay, but Hindi is no, wala is without. And Hindi ang mabuti, and no, it was not good. See, no linking verbs is no, not good, no good. And ang lalaki, and the man I magisa. Siya, see he, in ilalanggang ko, ang isa ang katulaeng niya. Now, so you know exactly what is happening here. He took the man and see, this is why you got to know the story, and he caused the man to go to sleep. Now, see, niya and siya, they're the same pronoun, except for niya means that the focus has shifted, and that is, it is not a passive voice, it's a focus. Niya was caused to go into a sleep. So Adam goes into a sleep. And na ila ang umbala e aong Dios sa lupa and sa lahat. So again, the earth and the sky. And na hayop sa paring and sa langhat and sa ibang in paawang in pita daling sa lalaki and ang ma'aalim kong. Kong is if, and ong si itawas niya, see, not siya, niya, the action is coming to niya, in sa mag iyon. So this is where the rib is being taken out of him, and Eve is being formed, from knowing the story. and bawa itawag in lalaki sa bawat inkipala isi mabuhay. And si ayaong inayang in pagalan iyoong. So something was named in paapiagan, and something was named. Somebody's going to do some naming, but it's going to be ang lalaki. So the lalaki is going to do some naming, and salahat and hayop. I don't know what a hayop is, but I'll find out. In sa mag-ibon, in sa kibawadin, in ang bawadin, in giwad, in parang, in dua abang, in sa lalaki, in sa walaing without something, and naasa paaging, in mala, in ku, tu, log, niya. And so somehow he's back into a sleep, or the sleep is something is occurring in the sleep. And ad nu holang baga olang dios, this great God, and nasi kesasaling, and himbanging lalaki, and siya na tu log, and he is sleeping. And kuna ha in isa in one, in this thing, in that, and siki aling, and magtag yaing, and sapina uga amon, and lamon, and dakad yaon, eng tad yang kuha sa dakuang yaon, ang sa tayaing in kuhaha pagiguan Dios sa lalaki, and si gi or ginawa isa ing babe. See, so ginawa ing isa ing babe is he formed a babe, and so galing maize, making corn. See, ga ni awing. See, because there's going to be an associated verb, and come on like I see it, if I see it. See, fektar. Okay, to make, makan, and makan isa in bebe. In ito dinale niya sa lalaki, and somehow to her came the focus, and from the man, something of that sort. It sinabi, said ang lalaki, said the man. See, and it's not said the man, it's like said of the man. See, it's not an article. That ang is not an article. It's said of the man. So it was said by the man. Ito na ang buto. Buto, I heard it a lot in the Philippines, and I think it's something like much. But I also heard it as some type of perverted form, meaning like maybe a vagina, but I don't know. I gotta look that one up. And that's why you read it. You don't just listen to what the person is saying and then start repeating it. See, so I've avoided saying buto because I'm not exactly sure what the person meant when they were saying marami buto. See, in relationship to some sort of passionate relationship with the woman. So I didn't know. And I king, see, of I. See, sinabi ung lalaki inaing, and so see now this is important. There's no quotes here, but Adam is speaking. Go again. And people in different languages quote things in different ways. They use different marks to denote quotations. Okay. And so he says, Ang sinabi ang lalaki. The lalaki says, ito na ang buto ng aking. This is the buto of mine. And ang buto ang lamin. Oh, I got it. Buto. That's what they were talking about. See, now I waited for like 30 years to understand buto. And what they're talking about is flesh. So when this guy, and it was a school teacher named Peter, and he kept on saying Marami Buto, Marami Buto, Marami Buto, but he was saying it in Cebuano, and he was saying something about how is your girlfriend? Is it Marami Buto, Marami Buto, Marami Buto? So what he's talking about is Buto, is he's talking about flesh. And said, ito maing ang buto ang aking. This is flesh. Maga ang buto ang lamin. And so this is flesh of my flesh, as they were saying in the Bible. And lamin, I don't know what he's saying, ang aking lamin. So it's lamin of my lamin. That and that lamin might be blood, but I'm not sure. So it's flesh of my flesh, and let's assume it's blood of my blood. So see, now a 30-year mystery has been solved. I know what this guy named Peter was saying when he kept talking about Marami Buto. Marami Buto Marites. Marites, Marites, Marami Buto. And you know, and he giggled. Okay, got it. Took 30 years, but got it. Okay, siya I tata waing babae sa pagka I sa lalaki siya kinuha. Kaya iiwan ang lalaki ang kawaang aman isi kaiyaeng ina nang makipasan sa kaiyang asawa. Now, that asawa means kind of like wife, but there's something that you got to understand about the word wife. Like in Spanish, esposa. So you're going to hear esposa said in the Philippines. Now, an esposa and an asawa are not the same things. An esposa also are a pair of handcuffs. But this is even trickier. Marriage and conjugal are the same things, like conjugate the verb. To vertible it quitas. To join the verb, to join an ending to the verb. But marriage, a very tricky word in French. It is not a state, it is a verb. So, je m'aimerai. Je vous m'aimerai. It means that it doesn't mean a ceremony, it means that I have joined with you sexually. Now, if you doubt what I'm saying, look at ego, chi, insieme in Latin. I mean, not in Latin, but in Italian. Ego, chi, insieme. And you're going to see that insieme is to join with that other person. So, like in English, artificial insemination. So, marriage does not mean ceremony. So, you can't assume that someone who has an asawa, that they have gone through a ceremony. Okay. This makes you look stupid when you're running around saying, "Oh, marriage is nothing but," like these guys said, "Marriage is nothing but a goddamn piece of paper," and they don't know any French, and then they just sound ridiculous. Now, to put it in English, sexual activity is nothing but a piece of paper. Now, how does that sound? See, that's how it sounds to a Frenchman. Sounds just absolutely ridiculous. Of course, you don't have to have a ceremony to have sex. See, je vous m'aimerai. I'm going to join with you. Okay. En sila I maaaing isa ing laman. So now, see how isa ing laman, and that's like, I know because I know what that verb says, and they were made to be one flesh. See, so laman is some type of flesh. And see, and I figured it out from just reading naturally the verse. You have to read from what you know. You can't read something that's strange to yourself. That's what the Greeks invented the Bible for, so that you could have common reference to Greek philosophy. But this is the Old Testament. That's what the people of the Old Testament, who were not necessarily Jews, by the way, created the Old Testament for, et biblos, so that they could disseminate the culture via the book. Biblos, book, a place where books are printed. Not necessarily holy books, but a place where books are printed. And it just so happened that this book became extremely popular when it was printed in Biblos. Everybody wanted it. That's why to this day the Bible is the greatest selling book in history. Everybody reads it. Everybody refers to it. Okay. Is it true? Well, in mythology, there is no truth. Mythology is merely mythology. So if you're looking for truth there, or you're saying, well, God, he's reading this because, this is a confirmation of his belief. No, this is confirmation of my culture and confirmation of the culture of the world. And we really cannot survive without these principles that are spoken of in this book. Now, whose finger scribbled the words on the stone? I don't know. I wasn't there. You'd have to tell me. Okay. But remember, there's no historical record of Moses. He didn't really exist. If you look at it historically speaking, there's no record of him. So and something and some of the stuff that he did, it would be impossible for there not to be a record of him. So it's kind of like taking for granted that we can say there's no record of Christ, but we can say there's a record of Moses when there's not really a record of either one of them. Okay, so, and tradition is not a proper recording, but I'm not saying what's true and what's not true. I'm just, saying what the actual facts are. In Siya ing Kapua Umbat ang lalaki it. Now it is definitely and it, and that and doesn't change. It ang kailawang esposa. And that ang is not necessarily a definite article. It means that of the lalaki and of kisa ayang, which is of his esposa, of his esposa. It siya I hindi sinat na sa kila ang. Okay, we're getting better. That took 23 minutes. We're getting better. We still got like 1,690 pages to go. Okay, this is painstaking. This takes work, and you're sitting here, you're shooting in the dark. You can put all of this over on Google Translate and let them read it for you in Tagalog, but you can't in Cebuano. So you're gonna have to just get used to reading it as best you can until you can get an uninformed informant that can read it for you. But you're going to be a lot better off to go to the Philippines and you're prepared and armed with this book and with the language, and then the person can easily fill in the gaps within weeks and months, rather than you just sitting there and just completely giving up. Oh, it's impossible. I'm too old. I can't do it. Okay, so rather than just giving up, and saying I only got a few years left in life, so I'm just gonna, party, eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow we die, and by tomorrow I mean 24 hours from now. And I don't even mean next week. But at any rate, know before you go.